Time, the death of Matthew Perry, a star known for his battles with drug addiction, was ruled an accident with no foul play. Now, a near-year-long probe has uncovered an alleged underground criminal network, attempted cover-ups, and a Hollywood drug dealer known as the Ketamine Queen.
They knew what they were doing was wrong. They knew what they were doing was risking great danger to Mr. Perry, but they did it anyways.
Matthew, right here first. Thank you.
In October, Friends star Matthew Perry was found in his LA home floating face down in a hot tub. He died from an accidental ketamine overdose.
Agent 23, Rescue 23, MS9 on the radio. Respond to the drowning.
Now, 5 people have been charged over his death, including Perry's personal assistant, 2 doctors, and an alleged drug dealer known as the Ketamine Queen of North Hollywood, each accused of playing a key role from falsely prescribing to selling to injecting the ketamine that led to Perry's death.
These defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves.
Ketamine, a powerful anesthetic, is used to treat depression, anxiety and pain. And Perry had been receiving ketamine infusions at a local clinic.
When clinic doctors refused to increase his dosage, he turned to unscrupulous doctors who saw Perry as a way to make quick money.
In a text message exchange between the 2 doctors, Salvador Placencia and Mark Chavez, Placencia wrote,
"I wonder how much this moron will pay. Let's find out."
And that he wanted to be Perry's
go-to for drugs.
Over 2 months, the 2 doctors sold 20 vials of ketamine to Perry for $83,000. On one occasion, charging him $3,000 for a vial that cost just $18. Placencia allegedly teaching Perry's assistant, who had no medical training, how to inject the drug.
Defendant Placencia knew that Mr. Perry was spiraling out of control with his addiction.
Both Placencia and Sanger, the so-called Ketamine Queen, who allegedly sold the fatal doses, have pleaded not guilty.
As Matthew Perry's ketamine addiction grew, he wanted more, and he wanted it faster and cheaper. That is how he ended up buying from street dealers who sold the ketamine that ultimately led to his death.
The defendants accused of attempting to cover up their crimes. Delete all our messages.
The assistant was the enabler. Does ketamine stay in your system or is it immediately flushed out?
Placencia falsified medical records to try to make it look like what he was doing was legitimate.
In the last 5 days leading up to his death, Perry's assistant administered at least 27 shots of ketamine, including 3 on the day he died.
A clear message. If you are in the business of selling dangerous drugs, we will hold you accountable for the deaths that you cause.
Makes a tragic story incredibly disturbing, actually, when you hear those facts. Our entertainment correspondent Hyla's with us now. It is a tragic story. How is Hollywood responding to all of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think shocked and not shocked, literally at the same time. On one hand, listen, it's no surprise if you are rich, famous, powerful, in LA, in the entertainment industry, you can get your hands on just about anything. But it's the extent to which, federal investigators are calling this an underground, organized, criminal enterprise that's happening here. That includes multiple doctors, his assistant, drug dealers, drug traffickers. It's quite impressive how extensive this is and how they pry on people like Matthew Perry, who have the money but are also desperate for drugs and addiction.
There are a number of charges here, Hyla. What kind of sentences could the defendants be facing?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a spectrum here. I mean, these doctors who, they have a level of ethics that they need to adhere by. They understand the risks, throwing that all away just to make money. I mean, you're looking at life in prison. Same thing with this Ketamine Queen, this drug dealer, drug trafficker. You could see her put away for life. And then the assistant, you're looking at around 15 years for essentially injecting ketamine into Matthew Perry with him having 0 medical experience.
Ugh, it is such a tragic story, Hyla, but unfortunately it's not one that we haven't heard before, especially when it comes to Hollywood. Michael Jackson springs to mind. Does America have a problem with doctors feeding the drug demands of celebrities?
Yeah, of course, because again, if you're a doctor and you can get a lot of money and then you're in favor with these rich and powerful people, it doesn't surprise you that these stories continue to keep popping up and they think they can get away with it. And I think it's one of the reasons why you're seeing the federal government get involved and really cracking down on this.
Hyla, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate your time.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's obviously such a complicated story, but my heart goes out to his family and friends, because when they first find out about his death, it's claimed that it's accidental and the grieving process begins there. It's to hear this news and to know about the involvement of other people, it just, it tears your heart out.
It just doesn't stop.